So we're currently in a metagame of PREDAPLANTs and LYRILUSCs and Ghostricks all being around the best decks, right? KC Cup proved that in a nutshell. And now it's time for a big ban list. Now hopefully, fingers crossed, they've done enough to make the metagame a bit more fun, a bit more interesting, right? That is always the goal with these ban lists, and I've heard it is a bit of a big one. So let's go to the cards first of all. We've got 3, 2, 1, Forbidden, Bishop Balkan, and Summon Breaker. Okay, so this one was long overdue. I think last ban list we were all thinking, why is this not hit? Now, I believe there was 1 or 2 top 100 decks in KC Cup that actually still played this, and so I think KONAMI thought, you know what? It is finally time. Just got it. Just got it. Summon Breaker, though, was being played in Ghostricks, and it's a toxic card in the current format, right? In Speedo entirely, right? 3 zones, you have 3 summons, but that's not going to be enough with the current skills and the way the game is played. It's just not a fun card to kind of play against. So, happy with those. Good so far. Then, limited 1, we've got Assembled Nightingale. Okay, and Hieratic Seal of Reflections. This one's going to be for the brand new cards coming in the deck box we're expecting, right? And so, being preemptively limited, does that mean the box is coming on December 5th? That's a bit later than I kind of expected, right? That'll be alongside the Gohar Rush Cup, but cool, regardless. Assembled, though, is pretty much for PREDAPLANTs, right? They were doing this turn 1 as a stall option. You now can't play this plus Super Poly. This is a very, very good change. I imagine this now means Ensemble Robin, I think it is. The other one for LYRILUSCs, right, is now unlimited, because otherwise you can only play 1-on-1, and that's not going to be a very good thing. Then we've got Dracophilium Hydra. Okay, so this one is going to be the, it's the Kaiju, right? Yeah, so this is super important for the deck. I think you cut Super Poly now. I really think you do. Of course, some games may still be won, cheesed out by them, but this is such a good card. It's only a one-off, but again, clashing with a Super Poly is really, really big. And oh, PREDAPLANT as well. Yeah, okay, so I believe this one was the one that let you do multiple Dracophilias in one turn. I think that's the card that did this. Again, I'm kind of out of Speedle for the most part. Of course, played KC Cup, and this was a deck I faced, and it was not a fun time for sure. You play this over this and a Super Poly. So, a pretty decent slap for PREDAPLANTs, right? Pretty decent slap. Then, Limit 2, we've got Cobalt Sparrow. So, at the moment, I think there's nothing Limit 2 they play. So, this is the targeting one, give target protection. This is the most annoying thing in the game, right? Like, for the average player, if you're playing Dueling Speed Duel, and you face LYRILUSCs, if you can't beat targeting protection, then you lose the duel. Just straight up, right? Because your battle is going to be the big thing as well. So, yeah, I imagine we'll go for Turquoise Warbler as well, Limit 2. Oh, that is rough, because this was a 3-of, and this was a 2-to-3-of. So, you're now going 1-on-1. That's a bit rough for LYRILUSC, right? A little bit rough. Phantasm Spiral Battle, though, coming back as well, is really, really good. Of course, this on release was limited in a way that was way too harsh, so glad you can finally play Phantasm Spirals with a bit more power. This is the pop one, right? Then we've got Cybernetic Overflow coming back. Oh, okay, so I believe in Cyber Dragons now, this shares the same spot with the Cyberload Fusion. And so, you're going to play 1-on-1, or you play 2 of this. Because you don't, like, you do use fusions in the deck, but it's not like the main game plan anymore. It's Exesis, and so this is a really good change. You end on your normal end board plus this, I believe, and that is going to be a pretty nice change, right? Just getting that removal, this brings, it has been a very long time since this card's been good, and so now, fingers crossed, it can be even better. Then on to Limit 3s. Okay, we've got Needle Sealing, so this was being played in Ghostrick. And so in Ghostrick now, Limit 3, you've got all the back row, you've got Eclipse, right? And so this was needed to kind of remove this from the deck. Now, are you going to play it still? Probably, right? I would personally play this over playing the Eclipses. That's just my personal opinion. Then, oh, Beryl Canary. Oh, so that certainly changes things for LYRILUSC, because that now removes, again, the Eclipse from the deck. Needle Sealing from the deck. Okay, they went in on LYRILUSC, right? Is the deck dead? No, I don't think so. Power reduced drastically? Yeah, 100%. But it's not dead. So, I think I'm okay with that. Then we've got Ghostrick Jack Frost going to 3 as well. So, you now can't play this and this plus the trap they've got. So it's still a 1-1-1, I guess. So that's fine. This is of course Limit 2, and we thought on release that was too harsh, but apparently Apparently, everyone was wrong. Everyone was wrong. Then we've got Ghost Trick Lantern as well. So they really don't want you to play Neo Ceiling. Because again, it was limit 2. So you played 1 and 1. So now you play one of this, plus the trap. Okay. Okay. I think that's fine. Kind of focus the deck on being a Ghost Trick deck and get rid of some of the bullshit. Very cool. Then, Unlimbs. Oh, Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. Right, so you've just given Synchro decks access to a very good level 8 option for free. Oh, that's cool. I believe this was played in Fleur, so kind of a buff for them, I guess. Then we've got Dogmatic Huh. This one, again, is a buff for Fleur. Just straight up a buff for Fleur. I guess it's like not doing that much at the moment, and the targets we've got aren't as good as in the OCG and TCG, so it's fine, but I feel like this card might flip-flop back onto the balance at some point. I just feel like it will. So a good change, right? Overall, a good change, but yeah, that could be kind of scary. On Zombie Robin, of course, right? Yep, 9 Gale took his place. That's perfectly fine. We've got Brave Neos finally coming back. Oh, that is incredibly based. Okay. Okay, we're now back to 2019. Very, very cool. We've got Limits Removal, which that probably could have been unbanned like ages ago. I believe you played like one of this, right? I think the decks, like the skill, just carried this and you played 1 or 2 of this, and so that's fine. We've then got Dark Lord Ixchel. So Dark Lord's got a skill not too long ago, right? And so this just makes them even better. Just straight up even better. And that's a good thing, I think. Because they do need access to that trap card, right? You're playing them with a new skill. That's interesting. Then we've got Charge of the Light Brigade. Okay, they are just going on a bit of a tear here on bringing back some draw engines, right? Dark Lord Ixchel was a very good draw engine back in the day. Charge Light Brigade as well is also really, really big. Huh. Could we be seeing more lifestyle support coming further down the line? That'd be cool, right? That'd be cool. We've then got Neos Kluger. So you're bringing back the Brave Neos, and then you're bringing back the Toxic Neos. Yeah, not a fan of this one, but it's not going to really do much, right? You see Jaden decks being played on KC Cup right in early stages, and that's kind of it. When you face a hero player and they're playing you Bell, you do get cheese a lot, but I don't think it's going to be like a massive meta shift with this card being back on it. It's just going to be a little bit more annoying on ladder, but for anime fans, hero fans, it's a nice card to bring back, right? It's a nice card. Then, Chaos Form. I forgot this was even on the ban list, right? This is probably for BLS, right? When that deck was being so good, right? Dumping 7 cards to the graveyard via the skill. This is fine to come back. Now, do you want to cope? Do you want to cope and say, you know what? They're bringing out Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, Chaos Max Dragon. You could do. Are they? No, probably not. I don't think they were really needing it, honestly. And then we've got Roland. Oh, so again, a bit of a buff for Fleur, which I feel like people weren't wanting. I think people wanted Fleur to be kind of hit a bit because they still are so unrestricted. And so I don't know how people are going to feel about that. And of course, we have Emerald Bird for the final card. Could they do more for Moonlights? Sure. I think the other one to bring back is the red one, right? The targeting one that makes your card 0. But for the moment, it's a good step in the right direction. So overall, a very, very big ban list, right? Probably the biggest ban list we've had in a few years in terms of cards, right? In terms of meta impact, it is going to shift things on the tier list for 100%. Because we know we're guaranteed to kind of get the Xyz, right? But we don't know if we're going to be getting Seals. And if we get Seals, then maybe it makes other decks better as well. We have also got some skill changes to go for as well, and hopefully, going to be some good stuff. So first of all, is a bunch of the Avaricious Blessing, Bloom, Avian, Spellcraft ones. Fine. Red Eyes Reverse is a weird out of left field one, okay. And Revolution to Fleur. So this one was kind of hinted as to being hit because of a leak where that is a skill that was blank, except for the restriction being the same as the current Fleur skill. So this was expected, right? And that is all. These ones getting a buff to make it so that you can shuffle back 3 cards in graveyard, including a fairy, not just 3 fairies, and then draw 1. Also includes Banished. So that's a very, very big buff. Doesn't make the skills broken. No, I don't think so. I think they'll still kind of be underplayed. But it's a good change, right? It's just a very, very good change. Red Eyes Reverse is interesting because we don't expect Red Eyes support unless, of course, it is coming in the deckable box, right? With Dragoonity, with Heretic, and Red Eyes. That could be really cool. Now, what new cards could we get? Could we be getting Darkness Metal Dragon in Duel Links. That'd be cool. That'd be a very cool card to put in a deck build, right? That'd be neat. And so, what has changed with this one, right? So it's gone through a bit of a adjustment in terms of readability. That's fine. It's removed the 7 red card restriction. Okay, and it's removed as well the North Summon or setting without tributing. But it's replaced it with a skill effect that just dumps one from your hand onto the field. You can change battle position. So it's kind of the same, but a bit different, which is fine, I think. Then the third effect is going to still use Spell Trap card, right? But if you're a monster, you can draw 1 card rather than, if you don't control any normals, returning 1 card. So just a straight buff, a straight positive, right? That is really, really big. And thirdly, Revolution to Fleur is going to be changed to basically give you the normal effect we have now for speed or skills, where they place the card face on defense mode, so you can interact with it on flip summon. So you can Book-a-Moon it, you can Compulse it, for example, crack down it, and stop your opponent's plays in their tracks. This is the biggest change to the skill people were wanting. So overall, a very, very good skill balance, right? Could they have done more with some of the other skills, right? Predaplants, right? I think that skill is a little bit toxic. Sure, they could have done, but I think it's still a bit too new. They don't want to go all in on like hard nerfing the deck, but the hits we've got are all very welcome. Yeah, overall, from a casual speed player, this BANLIST is really, really good and potentially the best one we've had in a very, very long time. So we're looking forward, I guess, to going into speed duels whenever these changes do go in on December 5th and seeing, is the metagame going to be drastically different? We'll have to find out. Anyway, thanks for watching this next video. Adios.